Welcome back to Words of Life. I'm Bernie Dake.
And I'm Cheryl Gillum.
We are so glad you've come back to join us this week because we have an incredible guest. Over this course of this new series, we've been interviewing Bobby Geary from the Salvation Army's Emergency Disaster Services Department. And she's really been helping us get a better understanding of what we do as the greatest opportunity for an organization such as ourselves, in my opinion. So welcome back, Bobby.
Great to be here. Thanks.
Yeah.
Bobby, it's been such a pleasure having these last few episodes with you and learning more about your own relationship and your own history. I'm wondering, when it comes to Salvation Army Disaster Services, these are massive operations and massive things to coordinate. Who does the Salvation Army rely on the most?
Well, I think it's difficult to say who the Salvation Army relies on the most.
Yeah.
But I will say that we rely on our officers, our volunteers, and our employees to get the job done. Without all three working in tandem, it becomes very difficult for us to have a really successful disaster operational response.
Right.
So I think they're all important, all serve different roles and purposes, and they're all necessary and needed. But I would be remiss if I didn't give a huge shout out to our volunteers.
Right.
Yeah, of course.
Because quite frankly, they're the boots on the ground most of the time. They're the ones serving the meals. They're the ones on the front lines, really recognizing what the needs of the people are. They're the ones praying for the individuals who are asking for prayer. They're the ones handing out a meal or a drink or something of the like that. So those volunteers are they're valuable.
Right. They're necessary.
They are necessary,
Yeah.
and they are never just a volunteer.
Right.
Always want to make sure that they understand that.
They're a part of the Salvation Army.
Yeah, they're teammates.
That's
right.
right.
Co-laborers.
Yeah,
That's
for
right.
sure.
We are in Everglades City. It was affected by a pretty sizable storm surge from Hurricane Ian. I'm going to say the entire community was underwater here where we are located.
When a disaster strikes, it hurts everyone. Everyone in the neighborhood.
When we come out here, we're actually feeding everybody, including the police force, the fire departments, along with the homeless or the mayor or whatever.
We want to serve you, whether it's food, whether it's an ear, a shoulder to cry on, a prayer. Anything we can do is how we want to serve this community. No matter what they've gone through, we want to be the light of Jesus that shines to them.
You can tell someone you love them, but when you show someone that
Yep.
you love them, that's a whole nother level.
The Salvation Army serving disaster is unique unto its own. No one does what we do in the way that we do it, as we are truly the hands and feet of Jesus' heart and love to this community and to the communities where we go in. People know when they see the red canteen come up that there's somebody there that loves them and cares about them. I love our phrase, hope is on the way. And we told people that now when we saw them, we said, hope is here.
So, Bobby, if one of our listeners wanted to become a volunteer, they can't really just show up and expect that we'll be able to throw them into service. How do they get involved?
So you're partially right, Bernie. Let me kind of just like talk about this for a bit. People who are local, who are right there near a Salvation Army, whether it's in an impacted area after a major tornado or disaster, can actually come and serve just for the day.
Yeah.
If they wanted to just be what we call a spontaneous volunteer, they can serve locally and get involved that way. Maybe they only have a couple hours that they can give towards helping, but they can do that. But more importantly, we also have what's called our credentialed disaster volunteers. And you're absolutely right. Those individuals must go through a number of different steps in order to become credentialed and deploy outside of their local area.
Okay.
So, we want to make sure that they have had a background check, that they've taken our Intro to Emergency Disaster Services course, that they've taken our Safe from Harm training, and that they understand what's going to be expected of them on a disaster operation.
Yeah. That's good to know. And we are so organized in that regard because we have the incident command structure, and
That's
there are
right.
people that report to other people, and you have to know how it all comes together.
Mhm.
So, and I applaud you for that, Bobby, because you've been a big part of developing the training for us, particularly here in the South, but it's adopted all over the country.
Yes, that's correct.
You're
Yeah.
a rock star.
Oh, well, I don't know about that. It's a joint effort by a lot of people in
Yeah.
ES, for
Yeah.
sure.
We get to serve from here at our territorial headquarters and get to report the news or share the news about what's happening. I am always amazed at how much work that you are doing and how those volunteers come alongside. Some of the tasks, you already talked about it, but there are menial tasks, things that we just need muscle or bodies for, like restocking a canteen or keeping warehouses organized and getting those materials ready to just be pulled into action. There's any number of things that you can do. You don't need to be strong. You don't need to be tall. If you are interested in helping, please reach out to the Salvation Army and volunteer where you can. In fact, there will be a link that you can follow right here on this episode. For those of you that are listening, if you want to write it down, it's disaster.salvationarmy.org. Check it out and see how you can get involved with your local Salvation Army.